Legalizing Prostitution in All U.S. States by Emma Eastburn. Prostitution, the practice or occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment. One of the most controversial subjects I've tried discussing, and it makes sense. Sex is a difficult thing to unpack, let alone the act of buying and selling it. I've heard it all, how disgraceful even the idea of sex work is, and on the opposite side of things, what an empowering occupation it must be. Yes, an occupation. For nearly as long as human beings have been alive, so has prostitution, yet it remains one of the most hush, illegal topics you can think of. The irony of this is the amount of people in America who participate in it. With around 1 million prostitutes in the United States borders, you can only imagine how many customers there are. Other than the 8 counties in Nevada where prostitution is legal, it's illegal in every other state in America. Yet, prostitution is still very alive. This matters because according to the U.S. Constitution, citizens of America have freedom of speech and expression, yet selling sex isn't allowed by law. People are going to have sex no matter what, but even with the freedoms Americans are said to have, expression through sex in exchange for compensation isn't legal. Not only does keeping prostitution illegal put sex workers in potentially dangerous situations, it also means that money made by prostitutes is not being taxed by the government. While legalizing prostitution would make it possible to protect prostitutes by law and at the same time benefit everyone because the government could collect taxes on their income. Legalizing prostitution is the next step for the more progressive communities in America, while others would prefer it simply stopped. But the idea that sex work will stop by keeping it illegal is naive. Sex is one of the most common activities a person can indulge in. Nobody can stop sex. Therefore, nobody can bring a halt to prostitution. People might claim to be disgusted by a prostitute's work, but those people are often patrons of pornographic websites and strip clubs, so there may be a level of hypocrisy in these people's judgment. Both porn and strip clubs are completely legal, so prostitution is seemingly next in line to be legalized. You can see for yourself by simply driving around your city. Strip clubs are there. A common misunderstanding is that prostitutes are only women, but all genders participate in sex work. Legalizing prostitution would be giving a whole new level of safety to the occupation, enabling prostitutes and their customers to feel completely comfortable and protected by the law. Safety isn't always a privilege, especially not for prostitutes and their customers. In fact, in some states, like Seattle, it's only the customers that are getting arrested. Both deserve to be legally protected. Legalizing prostitution would be saying goodbye to age-old stigmas that modern society no longer needs to rely on. Because regardless of your opinion on prostitution, we're all people, trying our best to get by. Some people work in restaurants, others are doctors, but sex work is a job like any other, a way to make money. It should be legal for the good of every American, prostitute or not. Protecting people is the #1 concern when it comes to making a decision like this. It's key to look past your opinion and realize that everyone deserves to feel safe with their work. It's being smart enough to understand that keeping prostitution illegal won't prevent it. But by far, the most important thing to remember about prostitution is that you never know who might be involved or why. Most prostitutes willingly choose their jobs, and many are proud of the work they do, feeling empowered knowing that they can do what they choose with their body. It's good to take into consideration that you don't know everyone's story, and why judge people whose stories you don't know.